Hey guys, welcome back to Saturday Street. Now, today isn't that good of a video. It's going to be a little more unusual. I'm going to be taking you guys with me to the Children's Hospital and everything, but I'm not allowed to, technically not allowed to record in there, so I'm not going to record that much, and if I record at all, I will bring my camera to recording the car and everything, so you guys will basically just see a lot of me. And you'll figure out good and bad news with me. Obviously, if you watched my last video, you understand what I'm talking about my throat surgery. I'll be explaining it again in my video. But you also will remember that I have a bunch of loud sounds and wind and everything. I do even have the wind guard on my mic, but you can still hear the wind. But even with that said, it's actually one day before my throat surgery. Tomorrow I'll be having my throat surgery done in the Children's Hospital. There's a little bit that I'm like, I don't want to do this again, but I have to do it again. And you'll basically be seeing the ups and downs and all that. I can't eat before my surgery. I'm not sure how many hours, but I can't eat before it. I just had my last breakfast, basically, before my throat surgery, and it was 2 bacon donuts, so that was awesome. I'm gonna eat for the rest of the day. I can have water up to 12 o'clock. Wait, no. I'm thinking of a different surgery. Never mind. No, scratch that. But I'm gonna so I'll probably eat, have a few bit of water. But if I remember right, I can't drink or eat anything before the surgery. I'm not quite sure because I'm mixing up my 2 surgeries together, but you'll be right there along with me. You'll see the ups and downs of this surgery, and I'll explain how this might be around better or worse for other people for different surgeries. You guys will just come along with me. Now, if you guys aren't interested in all this stuff, well, you still might want to come along, because if you never went to the Children's Hospital or had a surgery, you might want to wonder, what do people go through? What are the different challenges? What are the different ups and downs? Well, I go to the hospital a lot, and yet I still consider myself very lucky. So you'll get to see why I think I'm lucky and all that. This is a very long intro, but that's because I'm also explaining the stuff that I'm going to do today and tomorrow. So, don't be surprised if you see me in pajamas, because I'm actually required to be in pajamas. Literally, I had the list from last surgery and I was shocked. So, oh right, I actually do know everything. I have a list from my last one. I thought I was talking about, like, my x-ray, how I couldn't eat and drink, but actually, so I can eat to dinner. After dinner, I shouldn't eat anything. Then I can have clear liquids like water up to 12 a.m. Then I can't have anything until surgery. So that's gonna be interesting. So I have this little thing after surgery where I usually go to Wendy's. So you guys might see that in the video. But basically, I'm just going to warn you right now, this is probably going to be a long and exhausting video, and you're probably not going to see me how I usually am and how I usually act. So you're just going to come along with me for this very stressful, emotional up and downs with me. Now, if you watched my last video, you would hear how I was talking to my friends and making sure I'm okay and everything, and texting them, right? Well, I was happy in that moment, and they really snapped fingers and made me have to go back again. So I really don't know what to expect. All I know is it's going to be stressful, because as soon as I wake up, my parents will have good or bad news for me. So let's hope it's good. Now, the thing I'm not explaining right now, well, didn't explain on my last video, but right now is, after my surgery, I'm gonna choose to come back here. Well, I'm hoping to. If they didn't, stretch my throat too far and sorry, you're not going to avoid people out of my videos, but if they stretch my throat too far and rip it again, I might not go back to Ohio, but I'm probably still am. I'm just going to say this because you might get confused why I have a 3-hour car ride after my appointment. So, I don't know how much I'm going to explain tomorrow, mostly because I'm going to be out of it and very tired. So, I don't know if it's in the morning or in the evening, but you'll be with me the whole day. Even if my throat appointment's in the evening, you'll still see me in the morning. So, I'm just explaining this all, and I'll actually see you guys tomorrow when my throat appointment is. Alright guys, see you tomorrow. Okay guys, I'm on my way back to Butler. So, that's a 3-hour drive. Alright guys, so we stopped at a gas station, we finally got a call, and apparently I have to go into the doctor's at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So you guys will be getting up with me early and seeing the experience. And I was way off on the timing. Apparently I have to stop eating at midnight and stop drinking fluids at 7. And they want me to brush my teeth in the morning, so that's all we got right now. Now, I will see you when we get back to the house. It was an hour since I last seen you, but finally, I'm back home. So, I know in about 4 clips ago, in my intro I said, I'll talk to you tomorrow, but that didn't turn out that way. Once again, you guys are coming on the whole journey with me, and I was in Ohio, which is 3 hours away from where I live. So I have went back 3 hours, came here, and now I'm back to my original home, and I'm not sure if I filmed in my room any before. I did for my Boozled videos, but it's totally different. Oh, but it still feels like home. Oh, I now have my daybed from my old home at my mom's house, my mom's old house. And now it's here, and I love it, and it's much better than my old bed. And I basically merged 2 rooms together. Just wanted to say that because I was so happy to be home and be on my day bed. Anywho, got sidetracked. On the way there, when I had that very small video, not even 5 seconds long, saying heading home or heading to Butler, I don't remember which one. We usually need a small stop. We may or may not have went to the candy store. So if anybody's watching this, it's my brother or my grandparents. I deserved it. I'm going to my throat surgery. But seriously, my mom wanted to go to the candy store, so we went. Yay! Not planned, but we had lots of fun, and this proves I'm a YouTuber and love doing YouTube because I saw Weird Soda there. I could not pass it up, and I'm going to try it on camera. I know I'm doing this for my throat surgery, but we can have a little fun for something negative. And that's another thing I actually wanted to talk about. A lot of people are going through surgeries at Children's Hospital, including the throat surgery, the esophagus surgery. A lot of the best things to do to help is to keep your head distracted and to know that you're under a doctor's hands. Not sound in a bad way, but that's in a good way. These doctors are skilled, was in medical school, and know what they're doing. So you should feel safe in their hands. And don't think about all of the bad things that can happen. Think of the good things. Think about the things that are going to be happy. When I'm done with my throat surgery, I'm going to think about how I'm going to be able to eat again. I can probably eat more things I could eat more. I can eat faster and I don't take an hour. And I'll stop choking in public. Won't be afraid to eat meat in public. All these amazing things that you should be thinking about when it comes to surgery or getting your checkups or anything that you're afraid of. Even if yours is a lot less. Let's just say, oh, I have to get my blood taken. Well, even though that's very minimum, and you're like, well, it's not as bad as this person, yes, you could think of it like that, but you can also, for those people that are like, yeah, I know there's people that are worse, but what about me right now? Just think about, well, why are you getting your blood taken? Most likely it's to make sure you're healthy, and if you didn't get that blood taken, who knows, if you had a sickness, the doctors couldn't tell you it. Stuff like this makes your appointment so much better. And I know this from experience, and even though I don't usually take my own tips or advice, they should be able to help other people through this stuff, because for me, I know that I should be thinking this way, and I do think this way sometimes, but not all the time when I should be. And this should help me get through my appointment, and for you to be able to get through some doctor's appointments maybe in the future. And just remember, they're here to help. It's not like aliens are going to come down and probe your brain in the middle of a surgery. Think about it this way. It's something for your good. It's something to help your future. And if you don't want to help your future, then that's how I can only say it. I'm trying to think positive about this stuff, but it's really hard to. And trust me, I know it's hard to think positive. And your parents are probably going to be like a few different tactics to help you. And my tactic is to think what might happen after the surgery in a good way. But of course, if you do accidentally go off the good way and go to the bad way, you're going to be scared. Don't be scared for something as little as a shot. Even something as little as a throat surgery. Of course, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But I'm telling you that my throat surgery is little. But to me, in my mind, I'm trying to keep it as little thought as possible. I think my throat surgery is little. If it does get messed up, I do it again. Okay, I just have to do it again. And if it gets messed up, okay, I'll do surgery again. That might be a little more increase, but it might help my future. It's great. Either way, no matter what happens, at the end, I'll be able to eat. At the end, I'll be able to be better than I used to be before the surgery. I know I kind of got off topic of like, hey, I'm back to Butler, but these tips might help people in the future. You just have to think positive. Wow! I don't usually talk like that about this to anybody, but hey guys, it's true. Well, on that note, I might as well bring in maybe my mom and dad and try the soda. I'm still not telling you what flavor it is, but OMG, let's just say it's not like the pie sodas. I don't expect it to be delicious. At all. Alright, let me go do that. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, and I'm back with my dad. My mom shall not be joining us for this. Now time to reveal what the soda was. Butter soda! Man, this is like American soda for sure. I'm not even sure if it's made in America. Come on.
It is.
Come on, butter soda? What did I get myself into? I'm even the one that's like twisting the alarm by it. Alright, so let's try it. Yeah, that's not twist off. Is this a can opener?
Yeah, the one over is a flat edge one.
Ah.
Like this one.
Oops. Wrong one, guys. Almost got it. Almost got it. Still almost got it. I'm starting to think I don't almost got it. Got it. Woo! Oh yeah.
Bottoms up.
Oh.
Doesn't even smell like butter. It tastes like butter.
It does.
Sweet butter.
I could have done without the sweet.
It would be better if it wasn't sweet, but it's good. I would drink that. Oh, if it's my new favorite.
I'll stick with my corn. Thank you very much.
All the hardcore butter people out there should drink one.
Yeah, if you like butter a lot, you'll like that.
You would drink that if you were a kid.
Yeah, I would have. No, it would have to be salt flavored. It would have to have some salt in it. Yeah, to be honest, that's my thoughts about that one. We did try corn butter. I said corn butter. Corn from the same place that we bought this one. Not sure if it's the same company. But the girl we literally wanted to try it there and then. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get this open. And I went in and I asked her, hey, do you have a can opener to open this? She's like, yeah, and she opened it. She's like, oh, before I open this, just so you know, it's better cold. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And I went out with it open, and I'm like, apparently the girl on the counter tried it before. She said, it's better when it's cold. And we tried it. I actually liked that soda.
That was super good. It really tastes like one of cold.
Oh, so good. So, I do give these companies credit, because most of the ones we tried taste like the real thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, sometimes it's a good thing. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Honestly, it tastes, after you drink it, butter soda's what comes to your mind, for sure.
Yeah. That's why I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know what I was expecting. I think it was more of a margarine. I thought it was going to taste like margarine more than
No, it
butter.
doesn't, though. It tastes like butter.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this margarine taste, but it's actually
Take it from a margarine god himself.
butter. Yeah, that's true. That's all we eat in this house is like margarine. But fresh butter is good. Alright, well, guys, we did decide that I'm eating tacos for my dinner, so we're gonna go eat some tacos from Taco Bell, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Most likely I'll see you at 6:30 in the a.m.
We're gonna run for the border.
Okay.
And we'll talk about commercial.
Oh. Oh, bad dad joke. Well, see you in the morning. Alright. It is not the next day, obviously. But I did decide to... I'm just gonna tell you a free update. And I'm not feeling the best because I'm not getting as much exercise as I usually do during the school year. So I decided that I'm gonna go on a little jog. Walk. And I just thought you guys might be interested in knowing that. Once again, you guys are going through my full journey, so even the littlest things, I'm gonna tell you guys about it. So, I finishing dinner, I ate 4 tacos from Taco Bell with only cheese. I'm joking, guys. I'm not gonna get into that much detail. But actually, I'm gonna go on a walk/jog until I get tired. Then I'm gonna get in the shower, go to bed, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. And this time, I actually can't add in anything else because I'll be sleeping. But before I go do my jog, I'm gonna explain something to you guys. Now, I do have a bird, and I do want to call him my bird because he technically is, but I'm not home. He goes and gets mad. he's mad at me when I come back for the day, but if I let him out that day, he kind of forgives me a little bit, but still is really mad at me. But he doesn't like everybody else. He'll deal with them to just get food and water, but he barely lets them do that. He doesn't even like getting outside his cage, which is crazy because he loves getting outside of his cage, but only if I'm there. Just thought you guys might have wanted to know that. I forgot to put the cat away or somewhere else when I let my bird out, and the bird's okay, the cat's okay, they didn't get in a fight, but my cat walked up to me and started meowing, and I'm like, wait, what? And I had him on my shoulder, and I'm like, she's meowing for the bird. So I'm like, I don't have anybody else to put you away, I can't put you away myself. Claw won't go in the cage, so I'm like, okay, I'll go up to my room. I walked up the stairs, went to my room. I'm like, my dad's in the shower, I'll wait till he gets out. As soon as he gets out, squeak the cat. So that's exactly what I did. I waited about 5 minutes, and then I hear the door open, and I open the door. I'm like, hey Dad, are you out of the shower? He's like, yeah. I'm like, can you get the cat I've caught out, and I forgot to put her away, and I'm trapped in my room until you put her away. He's like, what? Why do you want me to put the cat away? I'm like, because I have the bird out. He's like, oh, you have caught out. And so he goes downstairs, puts her on the porch because she's allowed on the porch. We fenced it in, and he's like, alright. I went down, put him away. That's not what I basically said this portion, but it's because he's a teenager for birds. He's 2 years old, which is pretty much I don't want to say he's a teenager, because technically that's not his age. But he has mood swings like teenagers. He starts molting or something like that. And he's growing, so he's basically like a teenager. And it's hard because he attached to a teenager. Like, he only wants me, and I'm also a teenager, and I also have mood swings. So me and him just headbutt sometimes. But don't worry, the bird's always okay, I'm always okay. I did get bit by him a few times, but he can't actually hurt me. Anywho, he usually doesn't let me pick him up in my hand and put my hand around him because he knows, oh wait, she's making sure I don't fly away, and also that most likely means I'm going in the cage. But this time he let me take him off my head. I was peeking out my door over there, and he got so sick of him not being able to see what I was seeing, so he got on my head, and I'm like, okay. Closed the door. He got mad at me then. And then he was just nesting on my head, basically, cleaning my hair, because that's something birds do. And he actually wanted my hand. I picked him up, put my hand around him, not hard, but around his wings, so he couldn't, like, spread them out to get ready to fly. If he can't spread them out, then he doesn't even try to fly. And then he was just he was, like, huddling in my hand, making sure he's here, because the fan out there is really loud, you can actually hear. So I could actually put him away. He didn't bite me once. The only time he kind of bit me was, like, a slight, like, him just putting his beak like this. He didn't hurt me. He barely even pushed. That was basically him saying, I don't want to. And he's starting to learn really good. I just wanted to say that because I was so happy. Anyhow, so I'm going to go on a walk/jog, come back, and take a shower. See you tomorrow morning, because I will actually go to bed after that. Alright, see you tomorrow morning. And good morning, everyone. I literally just woke up. Only thing I did without you guys really was turn off that fan so you guys could hear me. So right now it is I need to be there by 8:30 in the building, and in the building at 8:30. Oh man, so said specifically to brush my teeth before it. So I will, of course, listen to them. For those of you who have never had surgery, they usually say to have no metal on you. So take with me a watch before it. I'm doing my hair with a scrunchie and band, so it has no, and they have no metal in them. And I'm basically just making sure I have no metal before I even leave, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, sorry. And I just have no earrings in. I haven't had them in for like months, which is actually a bad thing, but hey, it works out to my advantage this time. Oh, I'm usually more awake, but yeah. So I'm gonna start my day off with getting everything ready. I'm gonna start packing you guys up too, but of course I'm gonna keep the camera out at all times. I'm just gonna put on my tripod, and there goes my phone. But yeah, we're set to make the bed and a lot of other things, but you guys are actually gonna see everything I'm gonna make you get ready. Let's start with my bed. But you guys will probably see it in like a faster way than me actually doing it. So yeah, it just sounds gonna work. And where's the toothpaste? Not the toothpaste. I usually do charcoal, but I can't find it. Took it to my grandma's house and backed it, so I'm just gonna do whatever toothpaste this is. Ugh. Is I left the shower on, and when I turn it on, my head got soaked in water. Now I'm dripping wet. I can move on. Oh, to I don't even know what. This will probably be us water for surgery. This time is running out. Alright, where next? Huh? And I'm going to be taking care of this little guy. I usually take care of the birds and drive it in the morning. I don't know if I was supposed to today, but I am. So, I'm going to do that. We're still settling into this house, so we have a lot of mess everywhere in every room. It's just so much fun. Okay, so let's think here. I brush my hair, brush my teeth, got everything out of my room. I need to pack everything up. I no longer can have anything to drink. I have new clothes. no metal, except for my watch. I take that off when I get there. I have you guys. I have your guys' chargers so I can charge the camera while you guys are crooked. Hopefully this film isn't with me being fed, but I don't care. I figured out why you guys are crooked. Try that. That looks still crooked, but better. So, for people that have surgeries, right now is like a moment where they're like feeling it, that it's maybe a little more real than it was yesterday or a week before. But it's not, for me at least, it's not scary at all right now. I'm like, okay, I'm going for a regular checkup at the hospital. But I'm only thinking that because I have a yearly checkup at the children's hospital for my esophagus, which is the thing I'm getting surgery on. All I'm really doing is clouding my mind with everything. Like yesterday, you guys, it was like a whole different video at times because I was just trying to get my mind off things. Yeah. This being plus moving into here, we already are technically moved in, but like sorting everything out in this house, plus dealing with my throat, is like so frustrating. Oh. I have no clue what I'm gonna do. Then after my throat, depends how I feel, I'm pretty sure I'm going back to Ohio, but if my throat says otherwise, then I'm not going back to Ohio. It's up to my throat. Everything is up to my throat. Ugh. But it's true, and it's true, and it's true. So for you guys, I'll be talking to you in the car. I don't think I can film in Children's Hospital, so I probably won't have any footage of that, and you're probably like, well, that's the whole thing I came for. Well, I can't do it. I'm going to bring just my camera, no mic, no tripod, so you might be able to hear me a little less in. But I will bring my camera, and I'll ask for permission. If they say no, then I can't. I just can't. Of course I won't tell them that I won't film. The nurses or doctors don't have permission, and I will only film in my little box. And I'm not kidding, I feel like I'm charging a box there. But really, I don't want to say the surgery room because they moved you to the surgery room. Let's talk about that. I might actually explain it in here because you won't hear me very well in the car. So, what they're basically going to do is I'm going to be in the hospital, and they're going to put me in a waiting room at 3 or 8:30. I'll be there in the waiting room. They'll probably bring me back into a regular doctor's room, you know, for the regular checkup, like height, weight, stuff like that. Then we'll probably go to a different room, and they'll bring me through this long hallway. Most likely it's usually a long hallway for all the offices and doctor's rooms. And at the end of it, you'll have a bunch of, just a huge row of 3-walled rooms. You might ask, why 3-walled rooms? Well, these are the rooms that have the beds that most likely you'll get on and they'll move you through the hospital. It's like your own little joyride. OMG, let me just tell you, it's been forever since I had to do one of those, and the first time I did it, I was like, oh wow, I forgot how this felt. I'm like, oh no, I haven't done this for years, which is a good thing. But, so this room is basically 3 walls. You'll probably have 1 or 2 chairs on the side of you, and last time I went there's an adjoining bathroom, which is the 3 walls, it's attached to another 3 walls, right next to it, and you'll have a bathroom there. So if your door's locked, that means somebody else is in there. Probably another patient. But if your door's unlocked, you go in there, push a button, it locks the doors. Basically, that's what it was last time, and then of course there's like doctor equipment behind you and beside you, and then you have your bed and the moving wheel bed on wheels. Yeah, that's basically it. A lot of nurses will come in and ask you a few questions, then you'll probably never see them again until after, or maybe not even ever see them again. There's a lot of in and out nurses. If sometimes nurses get our name and say, "Hey, are you Ruby?" and I'll be like, "No, I'm a." There's like a whiteboard beside you that will have your name and what you're in for and what I'm not allowed and am allowed. So mine will probably say surgery, no water, no food or drinks. That'll probably be what mine says. Which honestly, I wish it said yes, food and drinks, but I'm not allowed food or drinks. I wonder why the esophagus surgery doesn't allow food or drinks when they have to dip it out my throat, clearly in my stomach. Sorry guys. I understand it full on well, and I keep saying esophagus. I need to say throat. My throat. So if I ever say esophagus, I'm talking about my throat that your food goes down. Me and all this talking's already hurting my throat. I wonder how much I'm going to be able to talk after I get out of the hospital. I will be trying to get a film of when I first wake up. Just because usually, I remember last time actually, I was like, what is going on? Why am I here? And then all the memory just flows back to you. It's crazy. But I was talking pretty silly. You guys ever heard of the tonsils? What after people get off like get their not tonsils, whatever wisdom teeth out, they are like goofy. Well, I'm a very very mild down version of that. You probably won't be. I wasn't able to walk very well last time. I almost fell every 3 steps, so they had to get a wheelchair to take me down. And I'll probably have to do that again. Hopefully not. And I'll be able to walk because I have 2 of my parents this time, and last one was just my mom. That's another thing. This will probably be the first time in at least 9 years since I had both of my parents in the hospital with me, or driving me to the hospital. Because my parents, one would usually be working and in a totally different spot. Like, my dad would usually work during the day, my mom works night, and my mom usually took me to all of my appointments. And my mom used to live in a totally different place, and I lived with my mom, and my dad was in Butler while we were in Burl. I don't usually say where I live, and I shouldn't. I'm sorry, I'm tired, I'm just saying places. Well, it doesn't really matter anymore, because there's 1,000 butlers. Good luck trying to find them. Anywho, I lost my brain. You're gonna hear me just saying a lot of gibberish after and before, because I'm like out of it. I'm not even usually this tired. I usually wake up at 6:30 every day on the school days. I don't know why I'm this tired. Might have been my walk/jog. I'm not sure, and it is 7:04, so I really have to get you guys where I can hand hold you, so you guys can come and help me load the car. Alright, I'm gonna go get my stuff. You guys are on a hill, so I look very on the wall. But yeah, I'm gonna go get my stuff, be right back. Put it in the car, And then we're off. I didn't notice my microphone was off the whole time. Sorry if you could barely hear me. But, and the car's locked. Well, I feel like going all the way back up here, and I can't set my stuff on the grass because it's soaking wet. I have a backpack that's probably heavier than me, a purse, and your guys' tripod holder. Well, my tripod holder, but it's for my camera. My phone and my camera. You know, I really don't feel like going back up there. You're gonna hear someone. Please be my mother. Leave it to them to take the longest. Alright. I won't make you guys wait for them too. Got them to open it! Now I have to put all my stuff in, which I put on the sidewalk because it wasn't wet. So, since I'm going to be sitting up front and I have no sibling to sit near me, I'm going to set all my stuff right next to me. So I can reach it, just in case I forgot that I put something in my book bag that I didn't want to. And I'm getting the rainbow for my camera wet. Here we go. And we did it. Oh. And we did it. Now what's next? I have no clue. I'll get you guys set up in the car to where you can be facing me during the trip if I ever want to talk to you guys or anything, but this window's going to be open, this window's going to be open, all the windows in the car are going to be open while I'm driving, so you guys will probably not be able to hear me at one little bit, but I'm going to try, because I'm crazy, because I'm hopeful, mostly because I'm crazy. Oh right, I have to turn you guys off so I can make your tripod fit. Alright guys, I know this is really bad filming, but we're in the car right now, as you can see in the background. It is getting a little harder. I don't know how far away we are, but it is getting a little harder because my stomach is starting to get really upset from me having not eaten or have a drink this morning. And I took my pill last night, so I'm really hoping my acid stays down for this road trip. But I'll probably see you guys in a little. Alright guys, so I arrived at the hospital a long time ago, and we asked the question if I could film. I was not allowed to film at all. I'm pretty sure I did not ask the right person because he was really confused what I meant. But I wasn't able to film, so I don't have anything at the hospital. I'm very out of it from the medicine. But we stopped at Wendy's and I got a burger and a cup of water. I'll give you more details when I get home of what happened. Oh, right, after the surgery, the first thing I said, and I mean it's the first thing I said as soon as my dad got here, I'm like, this is actually said, no Ohio home, no Butler, no Ohio Butler, so my throat really hurts. I'm not allowed to do anything but rest, so I wanted to go home, and that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to eat a burger. Probably won't go too well. I was able to do it last time, but I'm not sure about this time. Alright, well, we're gonna go try to do that now. I'll see you guys when I get back to Butler. Might pick up the camera again if I get bored, but other than that, I think I'll just see you guys at Butler. Alright guys, so things kind of went out of plan. I don't know when you seen me last, but I'm pretty sure it was in the car. So, I was in the hospital. I even asked them for permission to film. It ended up being a big no, but I did ask a doctor, not like the person in charge, but they said no because they have a policy where they don't want you to be filming the nurses or the patients. I did try to explain to him that I only wanted to film me and nobody else, but he just said no, it's against our policy and all that. So sorry, but I was pretty sure that was gonna happen. So after I got my surgery, of course they had to wait until I had so much liquids in me to make sure I could eat and everything. So I had to have 2 popsicle bowls, and I did. They released me. I still couldn't walk, so my dad had to wheel me in a wheelchair while my mom got me my pain medicine, which, by the way, guys, first time I got my surgery, they meant to prescribe me pain medicine, but they never did, and they didn't even tell us that they meant to do it. They just let me leave. So I didn't have pain medicine, and that was really hard. So they got me really good pain medicine this time. And then, as soon as we left, we went to a Wendy's right down the street, which I always go to after a hospital. It's like a tradition ever since they moved to Children's Hospital near it. So I got a burger, I ate it right away. Just so you know, probably wasn't the best I ate it right away. Probably wasn't allowed that. But, so we left. I don't know if I filmed in the car saying, hey, I'm leaving the hospital or not. I'm not sure if I did that. But I have to tell you guys, I have the worst memory from that right now because I'm still kind of on the medicine, so a lot of the stuff that happened, and I'm like, oh, I'm still going to remember this for my video. I'm like, no, I'm not. I barely remember what happened. It's so bad. My memory's so foggy from that I'm like trying to remember how I got from the recovery to the room where I got to see my mom and my dad. So if you guys didn't ever go into surgery before, after you get out of surgery, there's this, I don't want to say recovery room because it really isn't a room, but it's like, imagine it as a porch where you have a wall and a wall behind you and then 2 little ones, just a little bit for privacy, but really long with a bunch of beds and no door in front of you. That's basically what the recovery is. And then there was like a few beds and a few nurses lined up with computers. And there's a nurse right beside me when I woke up. First thing I said, I do remember this, like, this is what I remember, guys. I could have remembered this totally wrong, but from what I remember, the first thing I said when I woke up that I can remember is, did they rip my throat again? Now, I feel bad because after talking about this with my family and me being mad and everything, they did say that the nurse probably had no clue. Because this nurse that was next to me was just told the basic things of what they had to do and if I had any medical problems. That's probably all that she knew. She probably didn't even know what surgery I was in. She probably didn't even know that they were doing it on my esophagus. And honestly, she probably was so confused by that question, like, did they rip your throat again? And my answer that I got responded was no. So I was all happy. I'm like, yes, they didn't rip my throat again. This is going to be a good day. My dad came in. I told him, I don't even remember why I said this. I don't remember if I decided this because I was feeling good, because I felt perfectly fine in the hospital. So I don't know why I said this, but I did say Only this. No Ohio, Butler. That's all I said. And from my dad's point of view, apparently he said that the doctors didn't know what I meant and was really confused. And he had to explain it to them, and they were still confused after, but I don't remember why I made this decision, but I'm pretty sure it was me, like, knowing, like, my mind knew why, but it wouldn't tell me why, because I have no clue why I decided it, but I am glad that I did, which I'll tell you later on in this. So, I ended up, obviously, going out of recovery. I can't remember much after that. I don't remember how I got there. I know how I got there because I know how they get you out of the recovery and into a room. So they basically just move your bed. There's no beds in the recoveries. They literally make you move. They literally undo the wheels and move you. That's it. But it's really hard for me to remember. Like, I remember being in the car like, okay, so I was in recovery, then I went to that room, and then I'm like, wait, how did I get into that room? I don't remember moving. It was so bad. And they only let one parent or one person, well, one guardian to be with you in the recovery. So they moved me to like a box, basically, an isolated box with chairs and a bathroom. That's really what it is. So yeah. They moved me there, I talked to my family, and I got home. I don't know why I asked the question again, but I did end up asking, hey, did they hurt my throat? And my dad actually thought they didn't because I kept saying they didn't hurt my throat. Because from what I can remember, a nurse told me that they didn't hurt my throat. So my dad thought they didn't, and then my mom's like, yeah, they ripped your throat again. So guys, they ended up ripping my throat again. This is just great. And if you guys are wondering why I'm telling you this now and you didn't see all this, well, I was in so much pain the first 2 days. I didn't even... The first day, my mind was out of it. And the second day, my throat hurt so much I couldn't talk this much or explain anything. Then the other days, I just wanted to forget about it, the whole surgery. I didn't want to think about it, because I'm about to tell you why, actually. But yeah, that's why I didn't do it the first 2 days or after the hospital, just so you know. Ugh. That's basically my response to this right now, is ugh. So... Now that I left the hospital, I ate a burger, we were on the way home, yeah, told you all that. Lost my place. But yeah, she ended up telling me that they ripped my throat. I was really mad, because I told them the whole story about how I got told I didn't get my my throat ripped. I can't speak today. And then my dad gave me a good point that she probably had no clue what I was talking about or that I even got that surgery. So stuff like that is why I need to remember. But me talking this much is making my throat hurt again, and it's been like a week. But after that, my throat didn't hurt at all that day, but my stomach really did. It started out hurting a little bit, and it just got worse with the night. And from now, it's been like an hour since I ate the burger, and I was in so much pain I couldn't swallow anything except popsicles and frozen bananas. So my dad and mom decided to give me medicine that they gave us. Now, they did say to take it on a full stomach and gave us the right amount and all that, but I ate a burger an hour ago. That was the last I ate. And that was all I ate all day because I couldn't eat before the surgery, and it was already past noon when I left. So the one burger and the medicine did not agree, and it was a really, really, really strong medicine. So after that, they're like, if you ever need it again, you will be taking half the dose, and you will have to have full stomach, because that really messed my stomach up the rest of the night. Instead of it hurting in the regular stomach area, it ended up being on my right side. It moved, as soon as I took the medicine, it moved to a dark spot. It was only on my right side, and I was in so much pain. For those of you who haven't been in surgery before, or haven't had a really bad, like, the worst pain you ever felt in your life, when you're in a lot of pain, so much that your brain can't process it. Your brain used to be like this. You learn this in school. Your brain's like your fist, and when it goes like this, you have no emotion. You lose all your emotion, right? Well, as soon as you're in that pain, it goes in emergency mode. It has to try to get you out of that situation. It has to, like, make you feel like you're not dying. So I was in so much pain that I didn't have a filter on my mind. If I wanted to say something, I wouldn't know. I either kept it all in my head, or I said everything I was thinking. At this point, I couldn't think. I was in so much pain, I basically just wanted to get rid of it. We ended up thinking heat would work. So we took a heated blanket and put it on my stomach. That worked for like 30 minutes, not even. So I basically lived in water for that whole day. Hold on. Sorry about that. But, we ended up thinking, my dad, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, my brain is melted. I still don't have it back. But I lost everything. Okay, hold on. Right. So my mom always has, like, her stomach always hurts, and her pancreas always hurts, so she knew what to do. She knows that warm water works. So my dad basically said, okay, I'll get warm water in the bathtub. So I lived in there for a long time, for like 5 minutes. I went in there for 5 minutes, and my parents are like sitting on the couch like, yes, we have a break. Probably, I'm not sure. This is what I'm pretty sure happened. And then I'm like, it took away all the pain. I was happy, but then I'm like, well, I can't live in here. I'm gonna be marooned, so I got out. And I'm like, oh, it feels better. And then every second from that, it got worse. So in a minute, I had all the full pain back, and so I turned up. So at this point, I used to be on the couch. My dad literally had to. When we got home from the hospital, my dad literally had to help me walk to the couch because I was still in the medicine. But at this point, I was in my room trying to fall asleep and get rid of all the pain in my bed, and I'm like trying to think of what would help. I'm like, I always got my mind off TV because, hey guys, my age and younger, we never lived without TV. And we're zombies, so why not? Why would TV not help us? Guess what? It took away none of the pain, and I was still not thinking. So I was basically sick of going in the bathtub and drawing the water and sitting in it because it was taking too long. It was still making my pain hurt, so I literally just took the shower head and put it in that one spot that was hurting, and it would take away the pain. I would do this for 30 seconds, lay down, and keep doing that every 5 minutes. Now, after that day, I finally fell asleep, and I don't even remember what time I fell asleep. I was so out of it. I usually look at my watch every night before I fall asleep. Like, okay, I'm falling asleep at this time, so I could record how many hours I sleep in my brain. And yes, that is creepy and weird for most people. But for me, if I don't get a certain amount of sleep, I am horrible the next day, so I have to. Anyhow, all I remember is waking up at 11 o'clock. I woke up, looked at my watch, and the pain was fully back. And once again, when you're in that much pain, your brain's like this, in emergency mode. Your emotions are everywhere. So my first thought was, my dad will know what to do. So I woke him up for him. He didn't work the next day, though. He took off a few days to but he basically ended up telling me to go in the shower, take it, and try to go back to sleep, and I did. Now, after I took the medicine, I forgot to explain this, but after I took the medicine, I didn't feel like I needed to throw up at all, but in my brain kept telling me, for some reason, in the back of my mind, all I kept thinking is, I should throw up. I need to throw up. That's all I'm like, that will make me feel better. But I had nothing in my stomach. I couldn't. I basically had nothing in my stomach to throw up, but I really knew that I should. So I ended up at 11 o'clock after I took the shower. I don't remember why my dad was near me. I don't. But I finally threw up. And after that, I took one last warm shower, went to bed, and I fell asleep for the rest of the night. And that nightmare was over, and it felt like a month to me. To me, I was in pain for a month, and it was a few hours. But, yeah, I fell asleep, I think, at like 11 o'clock. And the next morning, I had no pain in my right side or in my stomach, so I ended up being like, yes, I was having a huge smile on my face. I'm like, it's all over, no more nightmares. I didn't talk yet, I was all fine. I went to my parents, they were talking about something in front of my mom's room, which is right here, and my room's right here, so I saw my dad, and I heard my mom's voice, and I'm like, yes, everything's okay. OMG, what time is it at the same time? Like, I think it was like 10 o'clock or 11 or something, and I'm like, I never sleep in this much, but I was also up until 11. I'm at 12, so I'm actually not too shocked. Anywho, I fell asleep with my TV on, so I turned my TV off, went out, big smile. They were all happy that I was smiling. Then I talked, and it was like the worst thing ever with my throat. It was my esophagus was hurting in the morning, but as my day went on, my whole neck was hurting. Like, my neck was hurting and my esophagus was hurting. And they did the surgery right here in my esophagus, but it was hurting right here mostly. Now, for the longest time after the surgery, my surgery was on Wednesday. Okay, so it's been exactly a week because today's Thursday and yesterday was Wednesday, but it's been around exactly a week, and a little over a week. And OMG, sometimes out of nowhere I'll be like, OMG, I'm having heartburn. Because if you know, heartburn usually happens in between your chest. And for me, I'm like, oh, I'm having heartburn. And I'm like, no, I had surgery there. It's not heartburn. My surgery site's hurting. So that will happen a lot. But the second day, my throat just was hurting so much. If I moved it the wrong way, I was like in pain forever. Now, this time, the day before and that day, my neck and when my stomach was hurting, my back was really hurting. Why? I have no idea. The neck part I can understand, but like the stomach part I couldn't. But it was hurting so bad. I usually have back pain because of the way I have to sleep, because I have acid reflux disease, which I'll talk about that later in the video, even though I talk about that for like every video I'm talking about. But yeah, that was unbelievably pain in my back, in my throat, and in my stomach for 2 days. And you're like, well, that's not that long. 2 days of the most horrible pain in your life. At least not like a month, like a lot of people. Guys, right after surgery, you will get pain. And mine lasts 2 horrible days, then the third day will be like it never happened. But being in the worst pain in your life for 2 straight days is really hard. And when you, like, since I had that pain like that before, I knew if I fell asleep, I wouldn't have pain anymore. So all I kept doing is like, I need to get to sleep for those 2 days. But on the second day, since it was just my throat, I'm like, I'm gonna bake and keep my mind off of it. I did think about picking up the camera for you guys to know this, but then I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. The second day, I don't even know what's going on. All I know is that they ripped my throat. Then I started hearing on the second day the news I never wanted to hear. So apparently the doctor talked to my parents, well, my mom, not my dad, apparently. And they talked to them, and it ended up being like news I never wanted to hear in my life, but I'm not sure about everything. I'm gonna say my side of the story and what I think I know. Then I'm gonna have my mom come in here when she's back from grocery shopping, and she'll talk about her side of the story, mostly about what she knows, because she probably knows more than me. If not, I might know more than her, but I'm pretty sure she knows more than me because she's the one who told me all this. Ugh. So apparently they ended up ripping my throat, and they didn't really have a plan on what to do. So they ended up deciding, I'm sorry, I'm like out of it. So the doctor said that it's my acid. They knew this the first time I had surgery, but they figured out it was my acid and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, I was taking my pills regularly ever since that. But before that, I had a really hard time remembering. But every time my throat hurt, I'm like, medicine. So every day I remember taking my medicine. Speaking of which, I probably should have done that today. I didn't know if I could take my pill or not today. I probably should have in the morning. But, oh well, I could take it this evening. Stuff like that is why my throat happened, but I did start taking it regularly, and apparently my doctor's like, well, she has to be on a low-acid diet, and my mom's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you already should have been doing a low-acid diet with her acid reflux. She shouldn't have been having any fruit, she shouldn't have any fried food, anything air fried, she should have no fried food, she should have nothing too greasy, no chocolate, no fruit, nothing with too much acid, no juice. I'm listening to what my mom here got told. All I'm thinking is, anybody who knows me in real life or has seen me eat before knows that I'm already super cautious about, like, my acid. I'm already, like, super, like, aware of what I'm eating. I know how much I'm consuming of acid. But apparently that wasn't good enough for the doctor. My mom tried to literally tell him, hey, she literally does so good on her acid, on what she's eating already. And he's like, well, apparently it's not good enough. She has to go better. Dude, some of these doctors make me really mad. I know they're trying to help. I'm not doing any grudges, but sometimes I'm just like, shut up and let us talk to you. Because you're not hearing our side of the story. You're just seeing something and assuming something about a person because of what they have. If any doctors watch my video, I do want them to know, listen to your patient's side of the story. Yes, you might hear about how good they're eating after, which that's something that he asked. But you need to understand, they might be already on a weird no acid diet plus another diet, or they might also be doing what you think they're doing, which is eating all the acid in the world like they don't have it. Well, my whole life, I thought if I took my pills, I could eat acid. But I still couldn't eat things like red sauce. I couldn't have pizza, usually, with red sauce. But school kind of ruined that for me. I kind of always ate pizza with red sauce, but I also always took Tums after. But stuff like that, I'm like, it just frustrates me when doctors don't listen fully. I'm just going to say that. Alright. But I am so not against doctors, just so you know about this stuff. They do help, but sometimes some of them just need to listen to their patients a little more. And their patients' parents. Anywho, now that my little grudge against a doctor went away, so I basically got told I need to go on a stricter diet. I'm only allowed 1 can of pop or bottle of pop a day now, and I basically am trying to stay away from anything deep fried. Air fried, I'm pretty sure is okay though, because it's not as greasy. It's not like they're soaking my food in grease like air fried fryers do. I mean, I said air fryers, deep fryers do. And that's going to be hard because if you guys, we don't eat out a lot here. We usually eat at home and all that, but still, it's really hard because one of my favorite foods to get when we're out is French fries. I can still get French fries, but now I have to eat only like 1 or 2 fries. Who wants to do that? I'm gonna make a very bad joke, but do not take it the wrong way. But that's basically telling me, an American, not to be an American. Americans eat grease. And you're telling me I can't be an American. Sorry, that's like a joke that comes to my mind right away. I have to. I say it all the time when I'm talking about it. But, anyhow, I can't have really greasy food. We already eat very healthy at my family, in my household, so it's still hard to hear that I have to go on a stricter diet, because now I'm like, okay, well, my family will be having regular dinners, and they're like, well, how about we eat this? And I'm like, you guys can, but I have to eat this because I can't have fruit with my dinner now. I do eat fruit, but that's only if I didn't have a lot of acid that day. And then the doctor also said that I was supposed to be taking 40 milligrams of pills morning and night. Now, we could have heard them totally wrong, but from my knowledge, I'm supposed to be taking 20 milligrams in morning, and then 20 milligrams at night, and 40 milligrams total in a day. I really think he got that mixed up. Because there's no way that I'm supposed to be taking 2 pills at night and 2 pills in the morning. There's no way. That would be way too much. But I'm still doing my regular dose because I don't trust that doctor, only because he had a thick accent and we could have heard him wrong. Well, my mom could have heard him wrong because I wasn't there. So far, we figured out that they ripped my throat in, that it hurt crazy for 2 days, and that now I have to be on diet. If all this wasn't enough, fourth thing for this, and there's a reason why I'm filming it on Thursday, today. I wanted to wait. I didn't want to finish it off on the weekend, which I totally could have done, but I did not want to, because I wanted to bring you guys on another journey, which I didn't think I would have to bring you guys on, ever, but I do. From my knowledge, my mom probably will say this and a totally different way, but this is what I took from it. Apparently, I have to go in, and they say there might be another thing that's pushing on my throat and making it worse. A totally different topic for my throat. It might not even be a muscle on my throat, but they think there might be, I might have a hernia? If I'm saying that wrong, let me just explain what I think what they are saying. They think I might have had a ripped muscle that didn't heal. Now, for most of you guys, that basically started right. So, most of you guys know, if you, exercise or try to get any type of muscles or be stronger, or even if you do it without knowing, you are basically, I don't want to say ripping your muscle, but you technically are ripping the muscle very carefully, and then it heals back. And you keep on doing that, and when it heals back, it gets stronger. So that's basically how you do it. But if you actually rip a muscle and it scars where it didn't heal, then you have a problem, apparently. I just figured this out the other day, but they might think that I might have a ripped muscle, so they're wanting me to take an x-ray, which is today. And I had to stop eating at 12, and I'm only allowed clear lids now, and just so you guys know, it is literally 1 o'clock right now, and I have to leave at 2 for this, and OMG, I'm just like, I just want to go there, do it, and them tell me the problem, and I know that I'm probably gonna go there, get the x-ray, and have to wait a week to know. For those of you guys, from what I'm taking away from this is, if they do find a ripped muscle, and they do see a problem with it, they're probably gonna have to do surgery. surgery, then I'm probably gonna have to be on some type of meds. Either way, if they find it, they have to do something about it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm pretty sure I do have it or anything, but if I did have it, it would explain so much. Only because after my first surgery, I'm going back like at least a month ago. After my first throat surgery, not surgery in total, or else we'd be going back my whole life, but my first throat surgery for this esophagus thing, that started everything. After, I don't remember, it was like weeks after, I just remember coming home from school. I was still in school at this time, coming home from school in the worst pain ever on my right side. Once again, on my right side where it was hurting after this surgery, but on my right side, in the worst pain ever on the right side. Well, not now, after my surgery this time, but at that time was the worst pain ever. I was in my room with like a horrible pain in my side. Right, it started on my left. It hurt a little on my left all school day, and then when I came home on my right, it was just so hurting so bad. And I asked my mom like what was there, and she's like, I don't know, there's so many things there. And I always ask her when I have a pain in my stomach or around my stomach, I'm like, hey, what's this? But she's like, well, there's a lot of muscles there, so I'm pretty sure you like hurt your muscle or something. And it would explain a lot because I was hurting so bad. My mom was actually thinking of taking me to the ER. It was hurting that bad. She's like, dude, I'm gonna take you to the ER if it gets any worse. And I'm like, that's not necessary. It hurts a lot, but I don't want to go to the ER. Like, because the last time I went to the ER, I had to wait there for like 24 hours, or at least felt like that. And it ended up going away at the end of the night, but like, after I fell asleep, I woke up and it was gone. But it happened a few times every like few weeks. And I already couldn't lift really heavy things because right there it hurt again. But yeah, it would actually explain why I had that pain there. Or it might have just been because of the surgery, or something else could be wrong. I had a lot of random pains, okay? Why, I don't know, but it might just be because I had a lot of surgeries. After making an hour-long explanation of everything you missed because I am a horrible person at filming me in pain, I am probably going to have my mom come on camera once again and explain all this. I don't even think my mom ever has been on camera. Well, you're going to see her this time. I've always filmed with my brother and my dad. My mom is new to my channel, so shout out to her, even though she doesn't have a YouTube channel. But that's okay. I had something else to say. So yes, so now they ripped my throat. I was in horrible pain for 2 days. I have to go on a lower acid diet. And now I have to do an x-ray because I think something else might be wrong. Soon I feel like after this a few days, I'm going to have a fifth thing like, you're going to die in 5 days or something like that. Because this is stupid getting out of control. Just so you guys know, this was supposed to be a very, 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 very simple throat surgery. First time I was supposed to get the throat surgery, it was just supposed to expand my scar tissue, and it ended up not even being where we thought it was. And then it just kept falling downhill from there. Ugh. 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 But I'm going to keep doing videos like this and updating you guys throughout all of this. I probably will hopefully be able to take you on this journey a lot further than my throat surgery. And I will see you guys after because the x-ray they're going to do, they're not going to hurt me whatsoever. It is not going to hurt at all. It's just an innocent x-ray through a machine. So I'm told. But as soon as I figure out something, I will be posting another video. And and I'm gonna think of a name for it. I think that's my least favorite part about videos is I have to remember to like make names for this. If I think of the name while editing this video or after I make the video, I will probably put it up on the screen eventually. So yeah. So for those of you guys who still don't understand what acid reflux I have is, a lot of people get acid reflux. You're like, yeah, it's a common thing, but no. I have acid reflux disease. It is not a disease, but it is when somebody makes too much acid in their stomach, and my body makes so much acid in my stomach that it eats away at my stomach. Yes, it's very dangerous, but I don't know what the worst thing that can happen is, and I always thought, well, it's a bummer, it hurts a lot, and I throw up sometimes, but it shouldn't hurt me any worse. Look what that got me to. This got me to surgery. But yeah. If I can't talk, I'm sorry. I can't talk at all, and I'm talking to like 3 hours. I feel like I've been talking for an hour. But I'm gonna go on Google, take a picture, and hopefully put it up on the screen for you guys. A Google definition of what acid reflux disease is. Only because I don't even know the full definition, and I feel like I'm gonna learn about my own. That's something I already have. Just so you guys know, so I think I'm gonna do another video on like, I think I'm gonna label it like medically special or something. I'm gonna name like a video, and it's not even gonna be about my throat, but it's gonna be about like, I think it's gonna be about my medical history, so you guys can kind of understand why I'm kind of mad about this, and probably like a lot of stories, and it's probably gonna be like an hour long of just me talking about my medical side of me. I'm not what I like to call a hospital child, because when I was first born, everybody thought I was probably going to be a hospital child my whole life, but I ended up losing that title, and I kept moving schools, so nobody knew about my background, basically, of history, and I left it behind. But now, since coming back, I'm going to make a video on it, and let everybody understand what my old life was, and why I don't like this happening. Of course, a normal person wouldn't like this happening either, but it's really frustrating to me right now because of my background with hospitals. But I will explain everything, and now I'm gonna get my mom on, and the next time you see me, my mom will be right here next to me, explaining what exactly she knows about the x-ray and what's going to go on further. They didn't even think about scheduling me with another esophagus balloon surgery. They did the same surgery twice, and now that they want to do this x-ray, they didn't even try to tell us, like, hey, we're going to do it, we're going to call you in 4 to 6 weeks and tell you that you're going back in for surgery. They didn't even tell us that this time. So, yeah, I have no clue what surgery is going to be coming up. I have no idea. I'm just hoping it stops in the summer. I'm going to go to a new school with all this stress. How much fun, right, guys? Anywho, I'm going to go get my mom, and you guys get to see her side of this story. And I'm back with my mom. Hi, guys. So, Mom, can you explain what you think they're doing to the x-ray? Because I kind of explained that, all I really explained was that I'm getting an x-ray because of a ripped muscle or something. I might have one or something like that.
Okay, so, coming up, I'm taking Bella to Children's Hospital. We are going to do a CT scan. What a CT scan is she's going to go in the machine and they are going to first take a scan of her inside. We are specifically looking at her esophagus and around her esophagus to see if there is something other than her narrowing of her esophagus that is causing the problem of pressure on her esophagus, such as hernias and other things that we are looking at. There's a lot of possibilities, so we definitely needed the CT scan with and without contrast. Contrast meaning the dye that they will put in, so that they can see her insides well enough when it's lit up on the scan. She won't be put under. It's a very easy procedure. It's quick. The main thing is she has to fast because, again, you do not want to have food and everything in your system while they're trying to take pictures of it. That, and with the acid problems, that she has to lay flat into the machine for about 15 to 20 minutes.
20?
Maximum. It just depends on how it goes because, again, it's the dye and everything. So first they're going to take a picture without, and then they're going to put the dye in through the IV, and then you'll be done.
I already have 2
And then
IV
after
scars.
that, the doctors will review that, and we'll know whether or not we need to try to go back in for a third time to try to stretch the narrow part of your esophagus with the balloon blowing up inside, which, since this last time it ripped and they were having problems and it's still so narrow, it's the size of a 4-month-old, that we have to take a different approach if there's something else going on. So, we are looking at multiple possibilities. You still have the balloon idea of blowing up the inside again, which it's a possibility, but not one that they're looking at if there's something else going on, which is why we want to definitely double check for numbers. So this test is needed now for the CT scan today. You just had to fast for 4 hours, no food before, and 2 hours only clear liquid before, and then nothing 2 hours before that. Like 2 hours before the actual procedure. So you were supposed to be completely fast. So, and now we take the 45-minute trip, or give or take, to Children's Hospital, and we leave here at 2. She'll be there at 3. The appointment's at 3:30. They always have you a half hour early. After that, we'll see. Hopefully things go good. We get quick answers, and we might be looking at a serious surgery, but we don't know what that entails until we know further. So this is to get us more answers of what's going on with it.
They always said, we're probably going to get you into a serious surgery if you, after 3 times it doesn't work. They
But,
never said what it was.
No, because they're not exactly sure on what they would be entitled to. So again, we need more tests to find out answers. So that's where we are right now.
Yay! This is why I needed my mom on here, because I knew half of that. Not even. Alright guys, so I'll keep you updated, and I'll probably turn on the camera once and for a final time after, and I'll probably film another video updating you and telling you, hey, this happened and what surgery is next. I was planning to do fun videos this summer.
I'm sure we'll still have fun videos too.
Surviving in the wild's not fun, Mom.
Day-to-day life, baby.
Alright, I'll probably see you guys in the car. Bye.
Alright guys, so I got back from the hospital yesterday. Perfectly fine, but man, I have the worst luck when it comes to this summer or something, because I went in to do a simple CE scan, or whatever you call it, and we spent like 30, maybe more minutes just trying to get the IV in. And they started with this arm. They hit a valve, which is basically a doorway, and you can't get it in enough to put whatever they need in. And then they tried here. It worked. It went in right, but it went out the other side. And yeah, my vein is really swollen now, which I can't show you guys very well, but it's like right here. Oh wow, it's blue on camera. Well, it is bruised. And then one last attempt, and these were all different doctors, nurses, whatever you call them. They're all different ones each time because apparently this arm has better veins, but the only good vein got used. Actually, wait. 1, 2, 3, but didn't I get poked a third? No, I'm trying to think. I have no clue. But yeah, so they ended up going with the one on my left arm. Apparently that has all the good veins. Anywho, I had to get poked 3 times just to get an IV in, so that when they did the x-ray, I'm going to call it an x-ray. It's actually a CE scan, but I'm going to call it an x-ray. And they did the x-ray and I had to lay down. First they did it normally, then they had to put this weird liquid in that I can't remember the name of. Basically it's putting dye in my veins so they can see everything. Like all my veins and how everything runs through. Worst feeling ever. Well, not the worst feeling ever. Weirdest feeling ever, though. Anywho, we didn't get the results back yet. I have fingers right next to me, sorry. But as soon as I get the knowledge back, I'll probably give you an update on my next video. Might not be related, might be related. But, not wanting to start any rumors or anything. But I might be doing some prank videos later this summer. Don't know to who yet. I love doing prank videos. I never did a prank video yet, from what I can remember, but I do prank a lot of people. So, I might start a prank war on my family, or with my friends. I prank my friends more than my family, so. But if you guys watched my last video, you know I live an hour away from my other fellow friends. Yay. And maybe even longer to others that might have moved. But, anywho, hopefully my next video will be either a fun video, which I don't know what one is, or, oh, pretty please don't be a video related to hospital. But if like I get another surgery and want to do another one of these videos, hopefully I'll learn how to do it better, and even when I'm in pain I'll get my parents to film me. Or it might also be my hospital background one that I was talking about on the porch earlier. But soon as I get the information of the results from the CE scan, I will tell you guys as soon as possible. Don't worry, I will hopefully remember that. But guys, this is my outro, so I hope you guys had fun watching this video. I bet you're having a lot more fun than me, even if I bored you to death. Or, unless you're watching this while you're in the hospital too, I bet you're having a lot more fun than me. But I'll see you guys next time. Remember, follow shadows because they lead to light. See you guys next time. Bye. This was a special video, of course, because it's almost 2 hours long. And I did have a lot of bloopers from this video. Bloopers. Like, that didn't make it into the cut because I didn't actually want to make it 2 hours long, or maybe even 3. So I'll probably do another, like, mini video of, like, all the silly stuff that happened that really wasn't informational, which I could have took a lot of stuff out of this video, to be honest. But I just didn't. And I started filming this before my dinner, and I literally did this for 2 hours. Then I had to do something for a long time. Then I edited for another hour, tried to spread it out. Then I went on at 9:30 and said I'll finish it tonight.
I wasn't wrong. I finished it tonight. Well, technically not, because you don't need my notifications, but it is 12:42 a.m. I started it at 9:30 p.m. I am trying not to do any more 2-hour long videos. This was a lot for me to handle, but once again, follow the shadows, delete the light, and have a great day. I know this was more of an informational video and about a lot of bad news, but I'll start getting back on my regular schedule, hopefully here soon, if all this hospital stuff goes away, of course. But I will try to get my regular schedule back on, and have a great day. The shadows are still there for you to follow.